How did love got cold? I don't know. I'm my friends, turn a fold. I don't know. 40 in, it's how it go, What you six? Yeah, better know it. Times change, people change, they gon' love you, then they hate you, yeah, it's strange. Yeah, that's right, sell you out for some change. Yeah, they go crazy for that money, they the range. Hey, Lord forgive them, cause they know now what they do. Messing with a prince, they ain't even got a clue. They don't blind them with the light when they see me coming through. And a hater couldn't trust me, tell them this ain't nothing new. Watch your back, better watch. Watch your back, better watch. Keep the circle tight, dog, never slack, never loose. Do your friends, do you know? Got your back. I know the ones around me, yeah, I'm keeping track. How did love got cold? I don't know. I'm my friends, turn a fold. I don't know. 40 in, it's how it go, What you six? Yeah, better know it. How did love got cold? I don't know. I'm my friends, turn a fold. I don't know. 40 in, it's how it go, What you six? Yeah, better know. Yeah, never take a word. Show me how you getting down. Yeah, is you with it when a man up and when he down? You around for the occasion?
Is it considered sin to pull the plug on a loved one who's in a coma or vegetative state? So it's sin to euthanize a pet. Quick way, euthanize a pet. No. Would that be considered interfering with natural death? Okay. The pet thing is not even, because it's not a law. It's not a law. It's not a sin. So don't let your mind wander. That. But the pull the plug on a loved one who's in a coma or vegetative state. Go to Psalms chapter 68. Show you. So Psalms chapter 68, and I want to read verse 20.
Psalms chapter 68, verse 20. He that is our God.
He that is our God. Read.
It is the God of salvation. And unto God the Lord belong the issues from death.
So you might think that, that pulling the plug is of your own doing, but you don't even blink your eyes without God saying, take it. So for you to pull the plug on someone that's in a vegetative state or a coma, that's not your decision. That's the Spirit of the Lord moving you, making you think that that's because he's the God of all spirits. It says that somewhere. Right? But no, I mean, if you get to that case, what you need to do with something like that, where's it at? Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs. And let me see. Right hand side. Proverbs chapter 20, and let's read verse 18.
Proverbs chapter 20, verse 18. Every purpose is established by counsel.
There you go. So when you're in that kind of situation, it says every purpose is established by counsel. And that's what we got to do more of. Scripture says, lean not upon what, brothers? Your own understanding. Seek counsel. That's of the Lord to talk things out, not to keep it bottled up, because some of us ain't built for the things that we have to experience in life. We need to speak about those things. And God gave you a way to save your insurance money instead of going to a therapist and shrinks and getting hypnotized. Read verse 18 again.
Every purpose is established by counsel. And with good advice, make war.
With good advice, then you act on it. Go to Sirach chapter 37. Go ahead, officer, you got something.
Yeah. I think you're going to it, Cap. Is that the one where it says there's a scripture in Sirach that talks about certain sickness death
is better.
Is better.
Yeah.
Because when you examine death, we carnally examine death as the end all of all things. But when you're looking at true spiritual eyes, death sometimes is the solution for our problem. Read Sirach 38.
And what verse, sir?
And start at verse 19.
Sirach chapter 38, verse 19. In affliction also sorrow remaineth, and the life of the poor is the curse of the heart.
Read on.
Take no heaviness to heart. Drive it away, and remember the last end.
So when we have family members in that situation, we you gotta try not to put that heaviness on your heart, like what is inevitably about to happen. Read on.
Forget it not, for there is no turning again. Thou shalt not do him good, but hurt thyself.
Read.
Remember my judgment, for thine also shall be so. Yesterday for me, and today for thee.
And here's the point. Read.
When the dead is at rest, let his remembrance rest, and be comforted for him, when his spirit is departed from him.
For when that person dies, their spirit goes to a restful place. It's not the end all of it, because when you examine scriptures, that spirit returns if it's the Lord's will. Remember that scripture, Cap, that I'm talking about?
What?
In 37, where death is better than...
Yeah, Sirach chapter 30, and it's verse 17, if you want to be straight.
Yeah, let's get that real quick.
Sirach chapter 30, verse 17. Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness.
You see that? So a lot of times we have cancer. We have those extreme cancer in our bodies or extreme ailments. You got to imagine that you're stuck on a bed with a feeding tube, breathing tube, but the spirit inside that body is trapped. It's trapped there. So God said to relieve that spirit, death comes. And that spirit actually goes back to the Father and is where? At rest. So death is not a bad thing when it comes to God. It's used to execute judgment, and sometimes it's used to take the righteous off the earth before he bring forth judgment. So death is not a bad thing. Go ahead, Cap.
Yeah. Land backing off of that, although although that's the case, that don't mean because you feel bad and you depressed. You know what? Let me take my own life. Wow. No, that's not what it's talking about. Like what the question is, if somebody's in a vegetative state or a coma, it's been years, whatever, like they're not gonna wake up, then that's when that comes into play. You don't have the right to take your own life, or take the life you have because it's not yours.
Yeah, that's leaning on your own understanding.
That's leaning on your own. All right, one more here. Let's go to Sirach chapter 37, and let's read verse 12 on down.
Sirach chapter 37, verse 12. But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord.
If you're in this kind of situation, you want to be with a godly man that keeps the commandments. That's what it means to be godly. Somebody that keeps the commandments of the Lord, because they'll give you wise counsel. They'll give you scriptures to help confirm the thought in your mind. That's the Lord telling you that's better. Let him go. Read on.
Whose mind is according to thy mind. It will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
So make sure it's somebody that understands the situation. They don't just walk in like, oh, they in a coma. Man, pull the plug and let's go. Let's pull the plug. Let's get up out of here. You got to make sure they mind according to your mind. Right? Read on.
And let the counsel of thine own heart stand. For there is no man more faithful unto thee than it.
So if you with that godly man, he gives you counsel on it. Don't second guess it, because in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let what? Every matter be established. Well, y'all got to know that, brothers. Every matter should be established in 2 or 3 witnesses. Right? Read on.
For a man's mind is sometime wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in an high tower.
That's why you got to have, in a situation like this, you got to be with a godly man, because your mind will tell you maybe they'll miraculously wake up like the Notebook. And they've been, who in here saw the Notebook? You know what I'm talking about? You might think that's not real life. That's a movie. You know, you do hear about those rare cases, but a lot of us know that stuff is not the norm. Your mind will tell you, oh, I saw it in a movie. This can happen. This can happen. They sit there, bed sores all over their back and things of that nature, and you got them suffering because you don't want to let them go. Read on.
And above all this, pray to the Most High.
That's the most important thing. Pray to the Most High for an answer. Read.
that he will direct thy way in truth.
Now, don't expect the Lord to speak to you and whisper in your ear. Pull the plug. That's not going to happen. The Lord is going to send you, verse 12, read verse 12 again.
Verse 12. But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord.
The Lord's going to send you somebody to keep the commandments. And he going to talk through him to tell you, you got to do what you got to do. I know it's going to hurt. Weep, sorrow, day or two, then get over. Jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. Let reason go before every enterprise.
Reason. Got to be rational before you make any move in your life. You got to be rational. Read.
And counsel before every action.
There you go. Counsel in a situation like this, because it's hard. I ain't saying it's easy. It's hard, but you got to have godly counsel to move forward and take that step in it. Go ahead, officer.
Yeah, give me real quick to add to Cap Proverbs 13 and 20, because a lot of times you ask for counsel, but for some reason we don't take it. But here's what Proverbs 13 and 20 goes. It's actually the precept for Sirach 37 and 12.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise.
See that? He that walketh with wise men shall be wise. Because when you're in the midst of wise men, they're going to give you wise counsel. This is what you should do. No, let's get a second opinion from XYZ. They're going to give you wise solutions to determine whether the decision that is needed to be made is the right decision or not. And that's how the Lord works through men. He's going to, if you're around men that are keeping the commandments, the Most High will move those men to give you make wise decisions. Read it again.
He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
But that's the flip side. If you hang around foolish men, you will end up destroying you and everybody around you. So very important. Be continually with godly men.
All right. Pray that answers the question.
We used to scream Black Power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.